Hello, welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Blood Moon Oracle. I hope you guys are well today. Today we're doing something a little different for the encouragement. We'll be doing 3 mini readings for the encouragement, as you saw on the screen here. You were invited to choose one. And so we're starting off with this very earthy energy. Stone number 1 is called blue agate. I hope I'm saying that right. This stone is all about the energy of purification, communication. It carries a very powerful energy to soothe. This stone helps to encourage joy, because joy is really something that we choose to feel, but it helps to encourage it. Forgiveness, growth, and I'm also hearing gratitude too. The blue agate is what we're starting with. So if you chose number 1, this first reading is going to be for you. And as you saw, there are a few different decks we're using. We're going to pull from our Chakra Oracle deck. I love my Chakra deck. And then for tarot, we're going to pull from the Chakra Tarot. Okay. And then we're also going to use another Oracle deck for a little bit of astrology as well. And so the first card was blue agate. If you chose reading number 1 or stone crystal number 1, this reading will be for you. Maybe some of those different qualities that this crystal offers, maybe that's something that's calling out to you right now. The purification, heavy on the communication as well. Well, let's see. For the stone agate, let's see what the encouraging energy for this reading is. I hope you guys are well. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not. So let's take a look and see the encouragement coming through for blue agate. If you chose crystal number 1. All right. And the energy that comes out is fire. We have the phoenix, right? Purification was one of the qualities mentioned here for blue agate. And the phoenix is all about the fire of transformation. It is all about purification. And so this may be an energy that is resonating for someone right now. And this energy is all about being willing to rise up again and again, not giving up on ourselves or on what is before us, no matter how hard it is. Even if you have to take the path of least resistance, right? Not giving up, because you will, I repeat, you will succeed. Okay. The Phoenix. This is very fiery energy. You will succeed. This is all about renewal, transformation. This is about rising up again, no matter how many times you fall. Not giving up on yourself. Maybe even around the energy of having to forgive yourself, right? But let's see what comes out here. All right. And so I have the Princess of Cups coming out as the general energy coming in. And so this feels like that there could be a message coming through in regards to emotions, the emotional state happening right now. This could be a message coming through about love towards you. There's something about possibly wanting to move forward that may be overriding this message that's coming in. Someone may be just really focused on moving forward and possibly even in the energy of avoiding whatever this is that's coming in around emotions right now. Someone may be more in the energy of doing rather than feeling, and it may be in an attempt because I do see the Three of Swords coming out here. There was some disappointment or some hurt that happened here that's still very fresh on your mind. Like you haven't really let this go yet. That's what I'm feeling. And so, but at the same time, you're not really wanting to deal with it either. You're just trying to stay busy, possibly to avoid it. But there's some truth that's coming in. It's almost like there's something that's going to happen here in the near future that's going to place you face to face with this truth, with this energy, whatever this is that you may be trying to stay busy and avoid. It's coming in like a wrecking ball. And you should know that with the Nine of Cups, it's almost like you are, very able to handle this. You have more than what you need to handle this. You're not in a difficult space. You're actually in a really good place right now. If you stop to take a look around at all that you have come to this point, and if you take a look around at all that you have at your that you have access to right now, you'll realize that you have more than enough, right, to handle whatever this is, and that you're actually in a really beautiful place. And I don't know if the energy that you carry is actually quite intimidating. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. And so I don't know if you are completely aware of like the energy that you stand in or the position that you're standing in. It's actually quite powerful. Yeah, it's quite powerful. And there's something that you have at your disposal. This might be like the ability to speak, to advocate for yourself, or you may have someone advocating for you. But not only are you standing in a really good position right now, you actually have all of the assistance that you need. Yeah. And I feel like for someone, this could be being having to be, being in a position where you're being made to make a choice. For some, this could be about love, having to choose between two and not really wanting to deal with it. But whatever this is, I feel like there's a bit of growth that's happening here, a little bit of stretching you outside of your comfort zone. Um, let's see. What else do we need to know about this energy here? All right, so we have the sixth house here coming out. And the sixth house is all about service. It's all about serving, but not overdoing it, right? You can definitely um, measure that out, right? It's almost like there might be an energy of feeling obligated here to do something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give all of what you have or give everything all at once. There's this sense that you might be able to set the pace here, right? Or set the timing on this with the sixth house. This is all about something that you've been given to do. I also have Aries coming out here and Aquarius and Pluto. There's definitely a challenge here. The energy of a challenge coming through with Aries. Something about you acknowledging your own desires, being really honest with yourself. I do feel like there's going to be a moment that comes where you're going to be face to face with this truth. And it may be about, what it is that you are. I don't know if you're afraid to say it or admit it, what it is that you really want, but there's some truth that you'll be coming face to face with in the near future here. There's also something very beautiful about this energy. It's very eccentric and it's very unique and very, it almost feels like experimental. Like there may be something about moving in an unexpected way or an unconventional way, right? There's something about mastering the art of uniqueness. Yeah. This might be something that you're not used to, or this could be something that's not usually done in this way, whatever this is. But there is a need for discipline here so that it doesn't go too far or get out of control. That's the energy that's coming out. But it ends with the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. One is your energy, and it's the King of Cups. And so there's something very unique about the energy that you're in right now that's possibly going to carry you into where it is that you want to be. Okay. There's something about this moment that feels difficult. You may feel like you're between a rock and a hard place, like you're being made to make decisions that you may not feel equipped or even ready to make. But there's something happening that's squeezing, maybe something, a change to how you see things or do things, or even the quality of who you are. Going back to the phoenix, this is being put under the fire, being pressured. There's some purification that's happening through this process. And so, though it may feel painful, what you're going through right now, it may have a greater purpose as you come out of this. Can we get more specifics on this? Ten of Cups. For someone, this could be about love. It could be about love. It could be about family. Mm-hmm. I do feel a lot of help coming in for you. I have the Temperance and the Judgment. Both are angels. Let me show you. Both are angels. So you have a lot of help coming here. So if this reading feels like it's for you, understand that we got this. Okay? That's what Spirit is saying. We've got this. It's all about you being patient, trusting, staying balanced, being willing to step out and, try different things, continue to working. This is about not stopping or backing up, but continue to move forward and try to figure things out. Because there's going to be some great understanding that comes in here for you. Okay. That's what I'm hearing. I'm going to end it there. I hope that, resonates for you. Now, as I look at this reading, to take a look at the energies that came out, of course, we have Aquarius and Aries that came out with the 6th house, but we have Sagittarius energy, and we have the Judgment, which is I forget what the Judgment is, but we have the 10 of Cups, which is Pisces energy, the Princess of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy again, the Queen of Swords, Aquarius energy again, the Princess of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, the King of Cups, Pisces energy, the King of Pentacles, Virgo energy, the Three of Wands, and the Three of Swords, that's Aries and Libra energy, and the Nine of Cups, Pisces energy. Heavy on the Pisces and heavy on the Aquarius, okay? So you could be dealing with either of these signs. You could be one of these signs, but that is the conclusion for the reading for Blue Agate. Hang in there, okay? I feel like Spirit is saying the best is yet to come. This part is actually going to be the trigger for what comes next. This is triggering the best part for you. And so hang in there, okay? Do not give up. I feel like that's really the biggest part of the message coming through. Do not give up, okay? Keep going. All right, that is the reading number 1. And if you chose reading number 2, we have Pink Quartz for reading number 2. Pink Quartz is all about unconditional love. It's all about self-love as well, learning how to love and value self and put self first and not feel bad about it. Pink Quartz is all about forgiveness as well. Pink Quartz is sometimes one of the crystals that help to release and work with grief. Okay. This is a very beautiful stone, one of my favorites. I went down to Shasta, and there's so many beautiful things in Shasta, but one of the things that I really loved was there was this sacred garden. And in the garden, there were just so many different sites, so many different sacred sites set up for different deities or energies. And one was this totem pole. And in the ground were like pink quartz hearts that the ground was made of. It was mixed with the regular gravel, but it was just so beautiful. And it just felt like love, like just pure love standing there. And this is one of my favorites. And so pink quartz, if you chose stone or crystal number 2, this reading is for you. We're talking about the energy of love, okay? So what is the message coming through for pink quartz, Spirit? And I'm seeing the color red, like a fiery reddish orange. Look what comes out. That's what I was seeing. Okay. Let me cover that up so I don't get banned. Fiery reddish orange color. And this is about the dawn. And it's about sexuality, right? And no, that's not a bad word. It is very human. It is much a part of us. And so the masculine and the feminine within you are receiving healing right now with this pink quartz coming out. This is all about the healing of your masculine and your feminine energies, okay? Part of that healing many times comes through as understanding the purity of who we are. So many times we become a little bit shameful of certain things that are very natural. We're taught to be shame of it, but there's something that's coming through to heal that. If there was anything that was not necessarily accepted or is not necessarily accepted, this energy comes to heal that and to rectify that understanding and that energy, because our sexual nature is a very vital part of our energy center. It's the sacral chakra. And Once we reach a certain age, right, those hormones and the development begins to surge and change, and we begin to experience life in a way that we haven't up to that point. And if we don't have the right reference, the right frame of reference to understand what it is and how natural it is, we may develop a skewed sense of self. That's what I'm feeling here. And it's not limited to physical experiences or sensations, like how it's how we see ourselves in the world. That's how important this is. And so there's something here about being called to heal that energy of our sexuality and not denying our feelings or repressing our desires or shutting down that side of ourselves that wants to be expressed. And there's something that's awakening and that needs to be nurtured when it comes to that side of who we are. And so this message comes through bringing that energy of healing, unconditional love, as we just said with the pink quartz, self love, forgiveness, and, grief. And I totally see grief, because until we come to accept ourselves in whole, we're missing out on so much. And it's almost like we're denying a whole part of what we should be enjoying and vibing, in life with. And so sometimes when we don't allow ourselves to do that, it becomes necessary to allow ourselves to grieve because we've held back in so many ways how we could have lived, right? And so it's okay. So we're going to grieve whatever we haven't allowed ourselves to accept about ourselves, but we're going to keep living. And we are going to live in the full expression of who we are, not leaving anything out, okay? And so let's take a look. The energy that comes out for pink quartz. For pink quartz. All right, so as I finish the cards here, we have the Chariot coming out. And I almost feel like this is a very fiery card. It's deep blood red, which means that this is something that's definitely passionate. Definitely something that you feel passionate about, possibly. Maybe you're in this energy right now of just really being self-empowered, right? Being self-empowered and visualizing what that is, what that desire is for you to move forward, and completely be self-empowered to do this, to move forward in the energy that you feel comfortable in. The Chariot is really a very fiery energy. It's get out of my way or get ran over type of energy, right? And so I feel like someone is coming to a point right now where they have come to the place where it's like, I am no longer going to let anything or anyone hold me back, right? I'm going to move forward in all that I am, okay? And all that I feel like I need to do. Now, for some of you, very interesting energy comes out here, which is the Four of Wands, which sometimes represents marriage sometimes. So I don't know if someone is actually in some type of commitment or committed to a cause, committed to it's very interesting. Sometimes we do. This is all about you maybe being torn between two things right now. Maybe there's something else that's actually coming to bloom at the same time, that you are expressing and coming into this self-empowerment that you're feeling. I feel like this is coming in as a support. It's almost like coming into your power, like watching something bloom, right? See how she's walking through these wands? It's almost like she's walking through this portal of empowerment. And I feel like it's almost like the energy of a ceremony, rites, a passage of rites type of ceremony that you're passing through right now that is very good. It's very supportive. It is leading you to your power. That's what I feel like. And this may even be having people around you to support that. That's cheering you on as you step out in your power and no longer allow yourself to be taken hostage to what's around you, to what other people, may consider something that, they may not agree with, right? Or maybe not even worrying about what other people have to say. Like really taking that power back for yourself. And there's something that you're deciding right now. There's something that you see as she's looking out at that ship. It's like this may be something that you may have entertained for a while, but there's something about right now that you no longer want to entertain it. You want to go after it. I feel like you're very close to allowing yourself to go after something that you want, that you've wanted for a while. I see that. Now, I do see some conflict here in the near future. 5 of Swords. You may get the side eye, the bombastic side eye. You may get the nod of disagreement, like, You may get the, well, who do they think that they are, right? You may get that look how she's looking at him. You see, how you walk by somebody and they don't look you in the eye, but they look at you from your feet all the way up as if to say, and just who do you think you are, right? That's the type of look she's giving them. So you may get those looks when you step into your power, when you decide to come out and be everything that you have always been, right? And I feel like this has to do with you showing up in your authentic self, you releasing yourself from ideas and restrictions that maybe other people have placed on you about who you are. Now, this is all about love, self-love. It may have something to do with you just really allowing yourself to be totally at one with your masculine and your feminine, right? Both aspects of who you are. We are very dualistic creatures, right? We don't just have one type of, energy. We have all different kinds of energy in us. And when we talk about duality, we're talking about feminine and masculine. We all have both of those. Yeah. We all have light. And yes, we all have dark. Okay. And there's something here about that, though, the masculine and the feminine, it's being healed right now. And for you, there may be some challenges, in you allowing yourself to express it. Just know that that is not your energy. You don't have to take on that challenge. You don't have to take on that energy as yours. You can leave it right where it is. You can leave those looks right where they come from. You don't have to receive them. You don't have to respond to them. You don't even have to acknowledge it. The only thing you have to do is shine. Okay. And I do see support coming in here. First of all, with the 8 of Cups, then with the Queen of Coins, and then with the Judgment. And so I feel part of your support coming in is going to be spiritual support. I feel like you do have angelic forces that are helping you right now and that are supporting you, that are encouraging you and sending encouraging messages for you right now. I feel like that's how that's coming through with the Judgment. There's something here that's going to empower you. as you continue to move forward and be encouraged and allow yourself to be strengthened as you move forward on this journey. There's something that's going to surprise you. And it's going to be a surprise because it's something that you've always known, but you never saw it this way. You never understood what it meant. And it's going to come up here and it's going to have a totally different meaning, or you're going to know, you're going to see the real meaning of it, right? And it's going to serve as encouragement for you to let you know that you are divinely supported. I also see a very nurturing energy with the Queen of Coins. This could be someone who um, has played a very important role in your life. This person feels like they're straight. Like this isn't somebody that one day, they're all for you and cheering you on and supporting you. And then the next day it's like, this feels like someone who's very grounded and solid. Like, even on your worst days, they're like, gonna get better, keep going. They're solid. And it's a nurturing energy. It's an energy that is very responsible. And it might be someone that keeps you not necessarily just encouraged, but this is somebody that would keep you responsible too and keep you on your toes when it comes to responsibility and health and, things that will keep life flowing easily. I feel like you have a nurturing support that's here for you. And then I see the Eight of Coins as well. The fact that you may be in a time in life where you are achieving things, that's coming in as a support. The fact that you continue to move forward and challenge yourself and be challenged to continue to grow. So, whatever that is, that gives you an opportunity to challenge yourself or move forward or level up, that is going to serve as support for you to keep you moving forward so you don't become complacent. Okay. I feel like that energy is coming through as support. And it feels like in the past, you already dealt with this. Like you could have been with the Eight of Wands. This talks about feeling stuck, but it's a past energy. Like you've already dealt with yourself in this way and you've overcome judgment, right? I feel like this is judging yourself, right? And so that's part of the battle. And I feel like that's the hardest part of the battle is getting over judgment of self. And once you do that, like nobody else's opinion really matters when you really understand the value and you've come to love yourself. Like you hold what you feel at the highest weight when it comes to how you assess opinions and thoughts around what you do. As long as you support, as long as you love and accept yourself, there's not really anything that anyone else can say. So the fact that this is coming in reverse, you've already done some of this work, when it comes to, you may be someone who has actually done, lots of self-healing already. I don't know if you're someone who does like mirror work. And when I say that, I mean like making yourself face yourself in the mirror until you like what you see, right? It's like looking at yourself in the mirror and naming everything that you appreciate about yourself, all of your qualities. And I'm not just talking about physical attributes on the outside. I'm talking about all qualities that you possess. It feels like you have done, some type of work where you may have at one point despised yourself and couldn't stand looking at yourself, but that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore because the more that you face yourself, right, the more you are able to support and uplift yourself, and you're not really dependent on other people to do that. The more you face yourself and the more you come to really accept who you are, even though it may not align with what other people may think, as long as you love it, as long as you accept it, that's the end of the story. There's nothing left to discuss, you know? And so I feel like there was some work that has been done in the past around releasing yourself from limitations that were either placed on you from others, or maybe it was limitations that you placed on yourself. Unnecessary stuff, fluff. It was all fluff. It was all in the mind, mental stuff, right? But it's in the past. So it feels like you did some work here and you stand in the energy of justice. I feel like there's some experience that you've had that actually placed you in this very powerful energy, very beautiful energy, very upright energy. It's always the people that have been judged and dragged through the mud that ends up being the most integrous many times because they know how it feels, you know. And so there's something that's very balanced about your energy right now. But I also feel like you don't play, right? You don't play with people. But there's something about you being someone who is very just and very stable and grounded and balanced and just really straight mentally. You see things really clearly and is able to make good judgment, right? There's something about being in a really good energy right now and wanting to do things right, wanting to treat people right, wanting to see people treated right. This is the energy that you're in. You see, she's carrying the scales like she's not playing. She don't play the favorites or the cool crowd type of stuff. It's like, come on, let's just grow up, right? And then we have the 9 of Cups that comes out, and I feel like 9 of Cups represents this level of healing. And I feel like this cup is something that you, in fact, have to share with others, to offer others. And you are ready and willing to share that when it comes to love and acceptance and openness and, unconditional love. That's the kind of energy I'm getting here. And so this ends very beautifully. I didn't get any astrology cards, but let me get a couple just to see what comes out here. So this is a very beautiful moment that someone is going through right now that Spirit is encouraging you about. You've come a long way. So we have the 4th house. We have the 2nd house, and we have the 7th house. Okay. So the 4th house talks about the feeling of being secure, feeling protected and grounded. That is kind of going down to those lower chakras around the sacral chakra, but it's also the root chakra right below the sacral. So this is about feeling supported, having a foundation that is supportive, as supporting and supportive. What makes you feel secure, right? The 4th house is also about the 2nd house, about your values, your beliefs, and the support you have around that supports that, the 2nd house. So for some of you, this may have something to do with you taking a look, and maybe there's something very critical that's coming up right now about how you are seeing things and where you're placing value right now at this point in your life. You may even have a rearrangement of your resources as well, right? Lastly, we have the 7th house, which talks about the relationships and fairness within your connections. This energy of diplomacy, right? I feel like that comes out with you being in the energy of the justice, like it's that kind of energy, just being really open and cooperative and very balanced, right? When it comes to your connections, I feel like you're in a very important part of life right now. And you may, in fact, be like a healing balm for others right now, too. Um, but first you. Spirit says first you, and then others. Okay. So, first, it's about making sure that you have been healed and you have forgiven. You have cultivated this unconditional self love, and you've allowed yourself to grieve that old part and just become one with every part of you and alleviate anything that's not love, right? No more shame, no more, you know, hating of self or others, right? Just allowing love to really permeate your experience right now. And so that's the message that I got for our reading number 2. Now, the signs that came out was Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra, Libra again, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, Aries, and Virgo. Yeah. Okay. And so that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Again, this was Pink Quartz coming out, all about love, the best kind, self-love. Okay. And so for whoever needed to hear that, that was for you. Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure reading for you. I appreciate your energy. By the way, I love your energy. It feels very beautiful, strong, yet soft. And so that group number 2 has a very beautiful energy. I love it. This is more, we need more of this kind of energy in the world. We really do. You probably don't even have to say anything to people. They just sense your essence. They sense your energy and what type of person you are. People probably just come up to you and start spilling their whole life. But thank you for stopping by my group number 2s. I appreciate you. All right. Cheers. Bye. All right. And if you chose the last rock, which is number 3, this is called Unikite. Unikite. And Unikite is about compassion. Unikite stimulates grounding and empathy, balance, and gratitude. It's number 3 here. Unikite. Unikite. Okay. Compassion is actually coming out really strong, grounded as well. It's a mixture of green and this reddish orange color. So it's definitely heart energy, but it could also be like sacral chakra energy as well. Okay. Passion and heart energy. So for reading number 3, let's see. What is the encouragement coming through for reading number 3? Unikite. What did I say? Passion. Sacral chakra. Okay. Even though the last reading was about that as well, lots of passionate energy out here today. And the sacral chakra is actually, it's that passionate energy. It's water energy, and it connects our inner dwelling place of joy and pleasure. Okay. And we're not always just talking about, sexuality. Like, we're talking about being able to experience life in a way where there's not a lot, that's lacking. Like you're completely satisfied from the inside out. I talk a lot about joy being this element that we get to invite into any situation. It's not what we go looking for, but it's what we bring to the party, right? It's what we bring to the situation, because essentially we have the choice on how we want to experience things. It's our choice. We could complain and rant and rave and have an attitude, or we can be like, okay, I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to be happy, right? And I'm going to move forward. And, and so we have more power than we give ourselves credit for. And so when we talk about water energy, we're talking about the association with the element of water when it comes to our sense of creativity, joy, this emotional experience that does include pleasure. Because when we invite in that energy of joy and decide that we are going to enjoy it, it turns into something very pleasurable. And I'm sure we all have that one thing that everybody else says, like, what? You like fishing? Like, why? Because it's peaceful, because no one's asking me for anything, and I'm out in nature, and I get to be one with the water and the element of nature, and it just feels good. It feels like home. And so we all have that one thing that just takes us to our element, and it gives a lot of pleasure. But it's personal because we've decided that that's the thing that we want to give joy to, right? And so this is all about that energy. It's about that energy, understanding that there is a space within us that is very grounded, that flows, right? And is very sensual as well. And we can engage with that whenever we get ready to. Now, it does require to be fed. It requires us to nourish it, to grow it, so that it can become that space that we can connect with whenever we need to go there, right? And so this has everything to do with you connecting with your creativity and developing this sense of an inner sanctuary, okay? And so for someone, this may be a need to re-engage with that place. Maybe that's what will come out here. I don't know. But this is pointing to that energy of having a place that is awakened, and it feels very natural. And being able to connect with that whenever we get ready to. That place that helps us to connect with everything beautiful within and everything beautiful without. Okay. This is all about discovering new areas of expression and spaces that are open to us, not only in certain parts of our nature, but also everything, right? When we talk about sensuality, we're talking about touch, taste, smell, hearing, seeing, right? And then if we really want to take it up a notch, we have senses beyond our five senses, right? We go into the clairs, the claircognizance, the clairalience, the clairgustance, clairvoyance, our sixth senses, right? That take us into the spiritual realm, right? There's so much to be experienced, and it all stems from this place where we get to connect with that inner part of ourselves. Okay. It's all about balancing that so that we can connect when the time comes, when we get ready to. So let's see what the message is when it comes to this beautiful realization. Okay. So what message do you have that's coming from Unikite? which was all about compassion, grounding, empathy, balance, and gratitude. Okay, those are just a few things. But let's see what the message is. Okay, group number threes. All right, thank you for your patience while I delved into the energy. And so the Knight of Coins, which is actually the Knight of Pentacles, the Knights always come offering something. And so in this moment, there's something that's being offered to you. Spirit is offering you something more valuable than gold. The Pentacles represent this very physical part of our existence, right? So it could be money, it could be comfort and luxury things, material things that will bring us comfort and luxury. But Spirit is offering with this Nine of Pentacles something more valuable than gold, something more valuable than houses and cars and furs and gold and necklaces and ring. It's something more than that, I feel like, with the Knight of Pentacles, because the Knight of Pentacles in many of the decks for me give me this energy of like healing. It's this slow pace, this slow burn. And when I think of things like gold, like nothing's wrong with that. Like give me a gold bar any day. Like I'm not complaining. But the excitement of it only lasts for so long. You know what I mean? It's like getting a new pair of shoes or a new wardrobe, right? You can only wear them so many times before they become everyday plain Jane. You know what I mean? And so, but there's something about what Spirit is offering here today with the Knight of Pentacles that surpasses anything that could bring satisfaction in the physical. This is something I feel with the Magician coming out too. This is something that is far more satisfying and far more exciting, far more magical with the Magician, right? Because the Magician brings the energy of being able to create this yourself. That's what makes it magical. Like this is something that you can create exactly how you see it, exactly how you envision it. And so there's something about this that Spirit is saying, this is your baby, right? This is you going into your place of creation and creating this to feel and be and to make you feel however it is that you desire to feel. Okay. And so there's something here very beautiful and very magical too that I'm feeling here. Now, right now on your mind, though, I feel kind of like a little bit of worry, a little bit of weightedness. Like there may be things you're like, I ain't got time, but I ain't got time to worry about that. Girl, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Right? I just hear somebody saying that. Or we don't have time for that. We have to take the kids. We got to do this. We got to do that. Like you're talking about sugar plums and fairies dancing, right? But there is something to this. I feel like Spirit is saying there's something about this that you would really appreciate and really enjoy. The Nine of Wands many times does talk about this very um, sometimes a burdened energy because you're carrying a lot or you have carried a lot to this point, maybe even to the point where you're waiting for someone to come and relieve you or save you, or, there's something that's happening and you're still waiting for someone to come and make it right. The other way that I also see the Nine of Wands is that you're just holding one. You have just experienced one thing. Look at all those wands in the back that's waiting to be experienced. Spirit is saying, yeah, you have experienced this. And maybe what you're experiencing is on fire right now. Maybe it's burnt out. But there's so much more too that you're not seeing, that you have your back turned to. There's so much more that's yet to be experienced here, that you've yet to do. Excuse me. I'll have to edit that out, but I probably won't. But your mind is on one thing when there's so much more that's available, okay? And I feel like there's something in the future that will guide you to it. Now we have 4 of those wands that has been brought from the back to the front. And whatever this is something that's very transformative. It's going to transform how you're experiencing life. There's going to be something that comes forward that offers a different experience. It's going to lead you into a whole different experience in life. Why is the 4 of Wands here in the future for my group number 3s? What is this experience coming here for group number 3s? So what I got was the Knight of Cups, another offering from Spirit, and the King of Swords, okay, which is a whole nother perspective. And this perspective places you in a place of, instead of going with the flow, you'll be leading the flow. You'll be strategizing the flow. You'll be strategizing the flow. I feel like Spirit is wanting to offer you something here in the future, an opportunity to experience life different. And in that experience, there's going to be so much more fulfillment in the experience. And there's something about you being in a place of leading this too, or strategizing this, putting this together. And for some of you, yes, you can bring your dogs too. Okay? Yeah. Now, I do see in the past there was something that ended, or there was something that you finished with flying colors. You may have just finished some significant part, and now you are open and you're free to actually go in any direction that you choose, or engage on any new challenge that you choose. There's something here about ending a specific part of your life, something that was very relevant. You may have just finished school finally. You may have just, finished a relationship. Maybe you ended that. There is a significant ending that just happened in the past that places you in a position to actually choose which direction you'll head towards next. And I feel like the support coming in for you is this energy that is inviting you to try different things, to try new things. And the energy supporting you is very reciprocal with the 6 of Pentacles. So whatever you choose to invest in, I feel like is going to actually be multiplied back to you. And so this also places you in a position of not really having to ask. You may be more in a position being placed in a position to even be able to help other people. You won't be the one in need, but you'll be more in a position to help. Okay. I feel like there's something that you are being trusted with here. You may be being given a lot of something here, or you have already been given. You sit in some type of way, you sit in some kind of abundance right now. And you may be in a position where you're easily able to help others. That's coming in as your support. The fact that you've been placed in a position of abundance of something. And I feel like for some of you, it could be finances. It absolutely could be that you're in a very comfortable place right now, very balanced, a place where that you're very grateful for. And you may be very much in a place of being able to help people, and it wouldn't even hurt you to help them. Like, that's the energy I'm seeing you in, the support. Now, if that's not you in this energy, this is the energy that's supporting you. Like, whatever you need will be poured on you gracefully, okay, in abundance. Now, there's something about the energy that you're in, though. It says you're in the 5 of Swords right now. And so the 5 of Swords would say that there is something that feels conflictual with you. Maybe you have some conflict going on around you. Maybe there's some internal conflict happening. But let's find out why you're in the 5 of Swords energy right now. Why is my number 3 in the 5 of Swords? And is that your energy? Let's see. Okay, for some of you, it may have something to do with love. We have the Lovers and the 9 of Coins. This may have something to do with love. You're no longer in a certain connection, and you've chosen to just really sow into yourself with this 9 of Pentacles, which is very abundant energy. You've chosen to bet on yourself at this point in your life. For some of you, it has to do with love. I'm feeling that here. Yeah. And so this is a difficult time that you may be in. The 5 of Swords. But in the end, right, you end in the 7 of Wands, which says that you are very victorious moving forward, very successful in whatever it is that you choose to do. And it was not easy. Like, you decided to take chances on yourself. You decided to put in the work. You decided to make decisions that weren't always easy or popular or comfortable, but all of those choices and decisions landed you possibly in places that others may, in fact, some may envy, right? That's the 7 of Wands. This is pretty prominent energy. Some would even say that this is an energy where all eyes are on you. You may be a little famous or popular. There's something about you that people look up to, right? But there's something about you ending in this energy when it's all said and done. And it has everything to do with you allowing yourself, though, to connect. There's something to do with connecting to, this higher place, spiritually, mentally, within yourself. Okay. And of course, as we've seen, it is not without struggle. There is going to be, some challenges along the way. And I feel like there's something right now that's very challenging because it says you're in the Five of Swords energy. There's some challenge that you're dealing with right now, and it may pertain to love. Um, it may pertain to your independence, you choosing to be solo right now. But let's take a look and see what else comes out for you. And you being solo, it's like you shining, honey. Venus came out for you. So you're very attractive. This Nine of Pentacles, being independent is very attractive and it looks good on you. And you're enjoying it. And there's a lot of pleasure. Like we were talking about pleasure, there's a lot of pleasure that you're experiencing right now. I feel like in your whatever you're experiencing right now, for those of you that are enjoying your independence, like you don't have any shortage of enjoyment in your life. You're not one that bases their happiness on others. And so, very Venusian energy coming out here, very beautiful. It does carry a bit of feminine energy. You're very attractive right now. You may, in fact, be choosing to remain single. Um, we have the third house coming out here as well. And the third house is all about how you're thinking about things, like that Five of Swords, that conflictual energy, right? How you're thinking about things. And it has a lot to do with how you're dealing with what you're around, who you're around right now. Um, you could be thinking of things like taking trips, long term trips, or even quick turnaround trips. There's something very idealistic coming through the third house for you. I feel like you're thinking a lot right now about what could be, how you want it to be, what has been, what you don't want. Very evaluational right now. You could be trying to make certain connections right now as well. Doesn't mean they're love connections. I have Scorpio out here. Um, and Scorpio is all about this getting clear or getting, things out of the way before you actually do what it is that you feel like you need to do. Um, it almost is like the energy of spring cleaning or cleaning house before guests come. There's something that you're working on internally as you're preparing for something right now. Yeah. You may be dealing with extremes right now as well. Um, I'm hearing that too, Scorpio. And then we have the 11th house coming out for you. And this is all about your desires for your future. Not only for yourself, you could be someone who actually thinks about the world as a whole in terms of doing things that's not just good for you, but you may be in a position to actually make decisions and do things that's good for the whole, for the collective, right? You may be exactly thinking of things and making decisions based on future outcomes. And so there's something very logical about you right now, too. Like you're operating very intentionally right now. And so that's what I am getting. Now, for the signs that came out in your reading, group number threes, I have Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I have Virgo and Gemini. I have Taurus. I have Libra. I have Virgo. I have Gemini. I have Sagittarius. I have Pluto energy coming out here. So there could be some feelings of feeling restricted in some ways right now. I don't know what that's about. That's that world energy, endings coming in. I have the King of Swords coming in, Gemini energy. And then I have the Knight of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, the Four of Wands, Aries energy, and then the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius energy. Heavy on the Virgo, heavy on the Virgo energy, and water energy as well, which is a given because that's the sacral chakra energy. It's water energy, and so that's what I have. And so that was for Unikite, compassion, grounding. We have empathy, balance, and gratitude coming in for Unikite. Okay, so that's the third reading. And so that's what I have for you. I hope this gave some encouragement for you. Here is something a little different. And so thank you for stopping by. Until next time, like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led to do so. I appreciate you all. Have a good evening and love yourselves, okay? Love yourselves. Don't wait for anyone else to do it. You do it, okay? And when other people see you loving you, they're going to love you too, okay? Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, bye.